Hello, everyone. Can you just confirm that you can hear me, please? Okay, so yeah, I'm still waiting for your questions, and there is Alexander from Bulgaria who wants to come to London and meet me in person. That'd be great. Thank you, Alexander, for that. Looking forward to see you eventually. All right, there is the question yesterday posted and asked in community posts. And I'm just trying to find that one. Right, okay. So the question posted in community chat was by Dr. John Miller. About 6 months, I added sets to my workout. I'm up five sets per exercise, 1 time per week, when before I only did 3 sets, but each exercise twice a week. I can see the difference. I have better strength and muscle growth. How do you tell when you can add an additional set? So I spoke about that often in many of my videos. So if you follow the principles that I advocate, first of all, doing every rep in 3 to 4 seconds, meaning 1 second up, 1 to 2 seconds down. If you do 8 to 12 reps, for example, for upper body muscles, and rest just enough for the necessary minimum, which will be anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds, depending on your fitness level. And when it comes to quads, probably anywhere from 45, 60 seconds, all the way till 90 seconds, again, depending on the fitness level. So more experienced lifters can probably rest less, while less experienced individuals will probably benefit if they rest a bit longer. So when you reach the number of recommended reps, for example, 12 in the first set, and then let's say next week you do 13, 14 reps, this obviously suggests that the weight has become light, and this is the time when you increase the weight. And this is the only progressive overload that I advocate, I understand. Nothing else is progressive overload. Just piling the weight for the sake of piling the weight doesn't make any sense. So only when you can perform more than a recommended number of reps, this is the signal that the weight is light. So for the next session, you increase the weight for about 5% and continue with the recommended number of reps. So that will be the answer to your question. Also, I would like to thank you to all of you who have become members on my channel. Thank you for your help, and I'm really very grateful because there is a lot of people there who have joined, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. I also I would like to ask you to suggest which videos for members only you would like to see, and also to remind Shredded Gains members that you have included in your membership 10 minutes consultation with me on WhatsApp every month. So don't forget to do that. Only a few people are using it, but there are more people who are Shredded Gains. So please use that because it will benefit you greatly. And once again, let me mention that your super stickers and super chats are very much appreciated and welcome, because this is the way that you help the channel and help me to produce more videos and give you more live chats. Now, Myogenic Angel, thank you very much for your super chat. And you have asked if it's okay. I like to keep my elbows moving doing the French press, or should I keep them locked in like push down? So when you do French press, as you have seen in the blueprint course that you have ordered, the main idea of doing French press has nothing to do with your skull. So calling that movement skull crushers is obviously wrong, because people who call it that way and who are performing it that way don't understand anything about anatomy. So why are we doing French press? What is the difference? What is the point of doing that? So every time you do push down, either with a bar or with a rope, you are hitting either lateral or medial triceps head. All the three heads are attached together with the same tendon to the elbow, and all three get involved in any triceps exercise. If you want to target more, put more emphasis on the biggest head of the triceps, which is long head, right? It's that one here. You have to lift that bar, lower that bar behind your head. So there's nothing to do with this, because if you do French press from your forehead, you are not targeting your long head. The only way to target long head will be to move your arms back. So you can do French press either lying down or standing doing rope extensions or standing with a weight, but you have to lower that weight behind your head in order to stretch long head. Why is that? Well, everything comes down to anatomy. While medial and lateral heads are attached to the elbow and upper humerus, long head is attached to elbow, but the origin of long head is in the scapula. So you cannot use as much your long head as doing push downs and that movement, skull crusher from your forehead. You need to literally extend behind your neck, simply behind your head, simply because the attachment for the scapula is requesting that, nothing else. So it's nothing to do with me or anybody else. People who did it benefited a lot. A lot of people benefited from that movement more than doing just push down. And the reason for that is that the emphasis of that triceps exercise was actually on the biggest triceps head, which is long head. Another sticker, thank you very much, Todor Smith. And Todor Smith said, thank you for the knowledge you share. You're very welcome. Well, I'm trying to give you as much as possible. So let us see what else is there in questions. There is a question, how to know percentage of fats? Do you mean in your diet, or you're talking about body fat? So if you are talking about a diet, in many videos I have explained that whatever is your optimal protein intake, which would be anywhere from 2 to 3 grams, sometimes even more, 4, 5, depending on your level, depending on your experience, the amount of fat should be half of that amount in weight. So if you, for example, eat 300 grams of protein, I advise half of it, 150 grams of fat. But this is not a recipe for everyone. So if you're struggling to burn body fat, if you eat a lot of body fat, then you have to lower that amount. You have to go down to 100 or maybe less than that. But that depends on your body fat levels. A lot of people who are on carnivore diet do a massive mistake simply thinking that if you are on carnivore diet, you've got a green light to eat as much fat as you possibly can. So they eat a lot of eggs, they eat fatty cuts of meat, thinking that they can't accumulate fat because they don't eat any carbs. But this is not true. Your body will accumulate fat easily. And I have a lot of clients who came as carnivores, and they had a big problem with body fat, so they were seriously overweight. Once we changed the ratio, once I lowered the amount of fat, they improved dramatically. So you have to be very careful, because being on carnivore or keto diet, it doesn't mean that you can eat as much fat as you want. Another question is regarding the number of sessions per week. So the question is, if I do not manage 4 or 5 workouts per week and they turn out into 4 to 5 every 8 to 9 days, how bad is that for growth potential? Well, it doesn't have to be bad. On the end of the day, the best training system is the one that is most sustainable. So what that means, that the training system that you can follow for weeks, for months, for years, this is the training system that you should pursue. So if you cannot train 5 times per week and you can train 5 times in 9 days, that's absolutely fine. I wouldn't have no problem with that. Some people will respond even better doing 5 sessions in 8-9 days, because there is nothing written in stone. I said that so many times. You simply use my advice as a guidance. So I'm giving you guidance, signposts in which direction you should go. But I train 5 times per week, but it doesn't mean that you will not benefit if you train 5 times in 8 days. Absolutely not. So I would not see any problem with that. Let me see something else. So this is the member of the site, Vincent Wenwick. Hi, Dr. Jocic. Which exercise closest to T-bar rows in back exercises, cable row or T-bar rows? Well, I'm not a big fan of T-bar rows, the classic one, when people perform with a bar on the floor and then just grab the short grip and perform that movement, simply because the range of motion is very short. And especially if they put 20 kgs plates. So the range of motion is very, very short. I personally don't do it. And if you want to do T-bar row, you need to use that special bench on which you you literally put your chest on, and you have full range. You can stretch all the way down fully and then squeeze your back muscles all the way up. That will never happen with a T-bar on the floor, which a lot of people do. Also, another good exercise, which I do, is always cable row with a close grip. So when it comes to 2 rowing movements, I'm always doing bent over barbell rowing and cable rows with a close grip, or T-bar row on the bench. There's a special bench which allows you to focus only on your back muscles, so you don't have to use your lower back. And I use them too, always either T-bar row on that bench or barbell row. And second rowing exercise is always close grip cable row. BR559, thank you very much for your super sticker. And you have asked, what is your recommendation on when to take vitamin D3, magnesium, omega-3 all together at the same time, before or after eating? How high dosage a day should I be taking each vitamin I mentioned? So I take vitamin D3 every day, unless I'm on holiday, as I was just came back recently. When you're exposed to sun, your whole body is exposed to sun, obviously. Apart from that, I take anywhere from 400 to 800 milligrams of vitamin D a day. But I also take K3 with that, because K3 will make sure that most of the vitamin D3 will be stored in your bones. So always take vitamin D3 with the bones. Vitamin D3 should be always taken with a meal which contains fat. So I take it in the morning, during or after my breakfast, which is usually 5-6 eggs. So you need fat to absorb D3. So D3 is fat-soluble vitamin. When it comes to what else did you ask? Vitamin D3, magnesium. Yeah, I take magnesium usually in the evening. And omega-3, I take it in the morning, 10 mils, which is 1 tablespoon of oil. I prefer to take it as oil rather than capsules, because you will have to take 10 capsules, and this is a lot of gel for your liver to dismantle, to swallow, to basically to digest. So you're better off taking oil. This is what I do. Julius, thank you very much again for your super sticker. And Julius has asked, my weight is 90 kgs last week. I started eating 1.2 kgs of turkey breast and 12 eggs, all boiled, split in 2 meals a day. 369 grams of protein, 66 grams of fat. That's 4 grams of protein kg. Is that enough to reach 80 kgs? So you're 90 now, and you want to go to 80. So you want to lose 10 kgs. Your diet is very good. You have balanced your protein and fat very good. And I think that will happen. But also you need to make sure that you are training correctly. And you have to be careful with body weight, because what may happen that in the meantime, you may actually put some muscle. So what if you put 5 kgs of muscle and in a few months, and you end up with 85? You see, so these digits, the numbers, they don't always work. So the best thing that you can do, and I would advise you to do, is to do photos every couple of weeks, the same place, same lighting, and that will be the best way to see your eventual progress, rather than depending on calipers or body weight or this or that, because visually you will see everything that you want to see. And if you can see your six-pack changing, and your shoulders, arms separating, your legs separating, obviously you're losing body fat. But as I said, you may get some muscle, so I would not be stuck with that number 80. You can see tomorrow I'm going to post the video in which I announce my new 90 days transformation challenge. And you can see how much people who have joined the previous 2 challenges changed in 90 days. Some of them remain the same body weight, but they just look completely different. Some lost weight, body weight, but they also change and look amazing in 90 days. So this is an information for all of you. If you are interested, check the video tomorrow, or if you're the member of a channel, you can see it now, because members can see videos a few days before everybody else. And you can see how much you can change, but regardless of body weight, because I don't ask them to give me their body weight. I'm asking on photos, progress photos, every 2 weeks. And then obviously, as we go along, I adjust their training program, I adjust their nutritional plan. As we speak, every month we have consultations. So people really change in 90 days. But again, the weight in some cases didn't change. The weight remained the same. So what has happened is that they put on muscle and lost fat. So in that case, you will change seriously, but your weight will still remain the same. So let me see what else is there. Let me find something interesting. Trying to build on fruits and veg, nuts and beans. Any advice? Well, as you know, I'm not really big on that, simply because veg, fruits and nuts and beans don't have necessary amino acids. First of all, necessary number of essential amino acids, and also they are very low on leucine, which is the most important amino acid when it comes to muscle growth. So it will be very difficult to build muscle on this particular type of food, fruits and vegetables and nuts. You should be considering eating more eggs and meat, fish, because this is where really the whole story orbits around when it comes to muscle growth. There is another question here regarding nutrition for naturals, and it said, I bought your nutrition for naturals. Is it for everyone to not eat more than 80 grams of carbs on leg day and 40 on high volume session because I'm 65 kgs and 175? Well, you see, you don't need to eat any carbs. I don't eat any carbs. My son doesn't eat any carbs. I'm 94 kgs right now. He's 95. I train 5 times per week. I don't want to get bigger because I think I'm big enough. I just try to stay in shape these days. And the carbs are absolutely not essential. They're not necessary. So don't panic about this 80, 40, 50 grams again. If you feel you need them, eat them. Eat 100 grams on the leg day, 150, doesn't matter. But then the rest of the week, you should be eating no carbs. Because if you have a problem putting on weight, you don't want to put fat. You want to put lean muscle. And lean muscle has nothing to do, right, with carbs. Because you don't grow because you eat carbs. You grow because you stimulate growth through proper, efficient mechanical tension. And then you stimulate growth. And then growth happens because of surplus of amino acids. And that's it. There is nothing else there. So you need to eat more protein and more fat. Otherwise, if you eat more carbs and you just put on weight, you got 70, 75 kgs or whatever, but you get fat. I mean, what's the point? So that's the answer to you. Thank you very much, Terran, Colin, for your super sticker. You're welcome to ask the question. You just send me your sticker. Thank you for that. But you're also welcome to ask. Liz, thank you very much for your help. And you have asked, hi, Dr. Nash, looking for some guidance. I'm regularly waking up hot and uncomfortable after a training day around 2 to 3 a.m. Cortisol spike, how to avoid? Well, there are many reasons why you wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. It doesn't have to be cortisol spike. It may be everything else. It may be your lifestyle. It may be food that you eat. It may be alcohol that you drink. It may be stress. You need to understand that we are constantly bombarded with all kinds of responsibilities, with all kinds of expectations, and that puts a lot of involuntary stress on us. So cortisol is just a response to a cause. It's not a cause itself. So if you are producing more cortisol, there must be the cause for that. And this is quite a complex area. So do your research, analyze your lifestyle, and see what you can change there. Because the cortisol is a consequence, it's not a cause. Just you want to get rid of the cause. Stress is most common reason for your problem, and nothing else, I would think. But you need to do the research on what potentially causes stress in your life. This is involuntary stress, which I'm talking about, and this is something that we cannot control. Either that is work, family, a relationship, all kind of different stuff. So you need to look there. Okay, let me see what else is there. Let me see. Okay, protein versus carbs. Once protein needs meat is 2 grams kg higher carbs better for muscle growth and 3 kg protein, low carbs, equal calories and fat? Well, question is not really clear. So you need to ask a little bit clearer. I can't guess what you're asking here. So try to give me a better question, please. What advice would you give to new personal trainers? Well, I'm not very impressed with most personal trainers that I see in the gyms globally. First of all, you need to be someone that people will trust. We trust people first by sight because we see others before we start talking to them. So that means that you really need to be in shape. That doesn't mean that you have to be a Mr. Olympia with tons of muscles, but you definitely have to be in shape. Having some muscles would be preferable, but being lean or even well-defined will be definitely very important, because this is the first sign that you're serious about what you're doing. Second, you need to acquire as much knowledge as possible, because after somebody, potential client, sees you, you will have to talk to the client. And I always said to my children and friends, your identity card is the sentence that comes out of your mouth. So when you talk to somebody and explain things that you're debating or answering or questioning, you will be actually signing your name across that sentence. So you need to acquire as knowledge as possible. Knowledge in anatomy is non-negotiable. You have to know anatomy from A to Z. Knowledge in physiology is non-negotiable. You need to understand physiology in order to understand nutrition and biochemistry. You need to know what is your liver doing, what are your kidneys doing, why do you have lungs, what is heart doing, what is cardio, right? There's a lot of deception out there. People, trainers, most of them, they are really clueless. When I see them, what they do with clients, I just cannot believe that people pay for that. So you need to offer credibility, trust, and that will only come from your personal experience, your knowledge, and most importantly, results. So if you have ever changed somebody, if you had clients before and after, make a website, put those images there, and ask them for testimonials. Never use the fake ones because they don't work. And good advice would be go and look at my website and simply copy it. Do the same things and just do the same layout and put your own clients if you have some. San Hamna, thank you very much for your super sticker as well. And you have said, Dr. Nash, I'm a big fan. Can you give me optimal nutrition meal before bed to spike a growth hormone for my son to grow as much as he can as an adult? Well, you're asking too much from one meal. I mean, this is not necessarily something that depends on the last meal, but I can tell you which meal will help your body utilize most of the growth hormone that pituitary will produce some 2 hours after you or your son get asleep. So growth hormone and insulin are not compatible. They are incompatible two hormones. So when your insulin is high, it literally competes for the same hormonal receptors on the muscle cells as growth hormone. Insulin is always more powerful. And if insulin is present, you will not be absorbing as much growth hormone in your muscle cells and other cells as you will if you have lower insulin levels. This is why I always suggest to my clients, I've been doing the same, my son is doing the same, that the last meal should be at least 2 hours, 3 hours before you go to bed, and should be meal high in protein and medium fat. So usually I prefer to have last meal, usually steak, or I do my own burgers with mincemeat and maybe some vegetables. Maybe if steak is lean, I will have steak and few boiled eggs. And this is my last meal. So that will give me enough protein, enough amino acids, which are absolutely necessary for repairing muscle tissue, for repairing other tissues, and helping growth hormone to basically build all these tissues, because without amino acids, growth hormone is not going to do anything. And meat is slowly digested protein, slowly digested food. So you will have a slow, permanent influx of amino acids probably during the night, because it takes 5, 6, 7 hours for that big last meal of meat to get digested. While that is happening, your insulin will be very low because you don't eat any carbohydrates in the last meal, and you will basically have everything that is needed for optimal absorption of growth hormone and also optimal supply of amino acids during the sleep. So I think this would be the best advice I can give you. B30 YouTube, thank you for being a member of the channel, and thank you for your support, for your super sticker. And you have asked, stalled close grip bench for 1.5 years. I did chest day, shoulder day, and arm day. Should I do triceps with shoulders so my triceps have time to recover? Well, this is something for debate. If you are going to do, let's say, push, legs, pull, that is usually for beginners. This is the training system that I advise for beginners. So let's say 3 times per week session, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. On Monday, you do push. On Wednesday, you do legs. On Friday, you do pull. In that scenario, you do chest, shoulders, and triceps in day 1. And the logic behind that will be, all these push muscles will recover enough. Yes, they will recover enough. But the problem is that when you do chest, shoulders, and triceps, you can only do 2, maybe 3 exercises for chest, 2 for shoulders, max 3, and maybe 1 or 2 for triceps. But as you have been training for over a year and a half, this system is not going to work for you. You need to do at least 5 movements for chest, maybe 4 or 5 sets each, maybe 6 sets, some of them. And there is no way that you can train another muscle with that, neither shoulders nor triceps. Because if you train another muscle after doing 25, 30 sets for chest, you're just wasting your time. It's impossible. You'll probably run out of gas, because within 45, 50 minutes, you will burn all your glycogen, your testosterone level will go down, because the session is already too long, and you are most likely to start producing more cortisol than stimulating growth during sessions that last longer than 45, 50, max 60 minutes. So if you do chest on day 1 and then maybe legs on day 2, I would advise you to do day 3 off, day 4 maybe back, and then day 4 fourth workout, shoulders and arms. Or if you're more advanced, you separate shoulders from arms. I do that. On Saturday, I did 3 exercises for triceps, 3 exercises for biceps. Now, on Monday, which is tomorrow, I'm going to train chest, and I have no problem with triceps. Why? Because when I train chest, I don't train triceps. And this is the big deception, big mistake that probably most people do, because people don't know how to exercise chest. I'm not doing isolation exercises only for chest. I do 3 presses and 2 isolation exercises, but I do presses in a way that they don't involve triceps as much in order to suffer previous tricep session. That's obviously another subject, and I think I mentioned that in a few videos, but you need to learn how to exercise properly. This is why I created my bodybuilding blueprint course, in which I teach people how to exercise in perfect form. This is very important, because if you do your chest and you need triceps to push, you're not doing chest, you're doing shoulders and triceps. And this is what most people do. And this is why most people have problem developing chest, because they're not using chest in pressing movements. They're using shoulders and triceps. Now, well, it's a big topic to explain. So I don't have problem with having triceps 2 days before training chest. Maridov, thank you very much for your support. And you have asked, Dr. Nash, I've been keto war since 2022 with no issues. I started lifting 4 months ago. I'm putting on muscle. I have good energy, but my libido has dramatically decreased since then. Any idea why? Well, personally, I never had any problem with libido. I've been probably the same as you, ketovore, because I do eat vegetables occasionally. Mainly, I eat eggs, I eat steak, I eat chicken and fish, and cottage cheese, and this is all I eat. Maybe you don't eat enough. Also, libido can be decreased for many different reasons. It can be psychological. It's not necessarily only linked to food. It may be low testosterone levels, so you need to check your testosterone levels. Sometimes if your testosterone is low, drop in libido is the first consequence. So if your testosterone is low, natural testosterone, then you may consider taking TRT. And I don't think anything to do with keto diet. I hope you're doing it right. I hope you are eating enough meat, enough eggs, because eggs and meat contain cholesterol, which is the main raw material for building testosterone. So you're doing everything right, unless there is some issue, whatever that may be, maybe age, maybe anything else, maybe psychological, which obviously influences your libido. But the diet that you're eating, enough eggs and enough red meat, is absolutely perfect for production of testosterone. I've done the video on that, which you can consider watching, and you will probably find a little bit more explanation there as well. Let me see what else is there. What is your opinion on kettlebell training, Dr. Nash? Well, I'm not very much in favor of that. This is just another gimmick invented for whatever reasons, I don't know, maybe to sell kettlebells and get busy some new personal trainers who will experiment with some new whatever stories. But I never did them. I will never do it. None of my clients ever does kettlebells, kettlebells, whatever they're called. I don't even know what they're called. I just don't think that's any good. Another question: do I increase the weight for all sets or only for the first set? If the first set 13 and, for example, the second set is only 10. Well, if you pass that number that I recommend of 12, and if you have done it in the right form, slowly, full range of motion, and you hit 13 or 14 reps, yes, you increase that weight for the next session. Now, when you increase that weight for, let's say, 5%, you should come back to 12 reps. And whatever the second or third reps are going to be, doesn't matter, because this is more related to the experience of an athlete. So I can do 7 sets of barbell curls. I can do, I was in Malaga in Spain. I did 10 sets of squats with the same weight. Yes, I can do it, but it doesn't mean that everybody can do it. I started with 20 reps, and then reps gradually start dropping down. When I dropped up under 12, that was my 10th set. This was my last set. So in your case, you made only 3 sets. You're talking probably about the upper body muscles. So if you do 13, 10, and 8, that's it. 3 sets is enough. But the day will come when you can do 4 sets in that scenario. Maybe 12, 10, 9, 8. Or maybe 12, 11, 11, 10, 8. So all this is simply individual. Let me see what else is there. Well, somebody's asking me about my what is it called, Muay Thai or something. I mean, I don't really know that, guys. I'm just interested in muscle growth and fat loss. So ask me about that. Ask me about supplements, nutrition, Muay Thai, whatever that is, some martial arts. You need to ask somebody else. I mean, I'm not expert in this martial arts stuff. Sorry about it. Terence, Colin, thank you very much for your super sticker, your support. And you have asked how to maintain fullness on carnivore diet. Do I not need to include carbs or more salt, sodium? Thank you. Well, you don't need carbs for fullness. You will always be full of glycogen, because if you eat enough meat, enough eggs, enough fish, your body will produce enough glycogen. So, I mean, I'm constantly full of glycogen. I don't know where that comes from. From God? No, it comes from meat, eggs, and fish and stuff that I eat. Because as I explained in many videos, you don't need carbs to fill the glycogen. It's something called gluconeogenesis, which will take care of your body having enough glycogen for every workout. So that's non-negotiable. Carbs are not necessary for filling glycogen, period. Now, when it comes to salt, yes, you need salt. Sodium is the most important mineral that you can have and you should have in the body. And people who don't eat enough salt, enough sodium, they can suffer from lack of pump, fullness. Simply, is the most essential mineral in the body. You need about 6-7 grams of sodium a day, and that will be over 10 grams of salt. I personally advise people to mix Himalayan salt with iodinated salt that you should buy as well. So you have iodine in the salt. So 5 grams of that and 5 grams of Himalayan salt will do the job. I also put extra salt in my water when I go to the gym. I put electrolytes, but I also put about 3 to 5 grams of salt in 1.5 liter of water. And this is the reason I'm always pumped, whatever I do, legs, back, arms, doesn't matter. So nothing to do with carbs. I hope you follow this and make sure that don't just drink plain water. If you have a couple of bottles of water a day, always put 3 scoops of electrolytes in each bottle, and also put a bit of salt, and that will help you. You will see the difference immediately. Within a day or two, your workouts are going to be very different. All right, let me see what else we have. Vincent, who is the member of the channel, has asked the question, Dr. Jocic, there is a machine seated in my gym that mimics triceps French press. Are these machines as good as an EZ bar? Well, I think EZ bar is absolutely the best one, simply because you're using more muscles, supporting muscle stabilizers when you do that. And you are not adapting to the machine. Every machine has a problem, a limitation, which is basically you need to adapt to the machine. Not every machine is created for everybody. So machines are just an average for average person. But if you have different shoulder width or different depth of your chest, if your thorax is more forward than other people have, then the machines are not going to work the same for everyone. So free weights, wherever possible, they should have a priority. You don't need to do French press. You can. My last triceps workout, I was doing triceps extensions behind my neck with a cable, and you can do it standing as well. You don't have to lie down on the bench. You can do standing. You can do just grab a EZ bar behind and carry on doing the same movement. So the machine may be good, but maybe not. I don't know, because obviously I need to try the machine in order to tell you how good it is. Do you think that many bodybuilders only do bodybuilding because earning money from weightlifting is better than 9 to 5? Well, I don't think that earning money from bodybuilding is very easy. It's very difficult. Very few people have made good living out of bodybuilding. Even all these professionals that you watch on Mr. Olympia or other professional competitions, they not necessarily they make a lot of money. So there are different reasons why people do bodybuilding. There are a lot of psychological reasons. There is a lot of ego chasing. There is also some people just do because it's very good for you. It's very healthy. It's probably the best exercise type of exercise that you can do for life. Also, everybody can do it, and you benefit tremendously, not just by getting bigger, but by getting healthier because of developing strength of all your muscles, all your connective tissues, joints, strengthening your back, strengthening your connective tissues all around, and is absolutely second to none. No other sport or type of exercise comes close to bodybuilding. So many people are doing for that reason. I started doing bodybuilding because I started studying philosophy. I was very much into aesthetics, and I always wanted to look good for myself. I wanted to look good in the mirror. When I look in the mirror, I wanted to be happy with what I see there. That was my reason. So I wanted to chisel my body to perfection, to something that I've seen people like Arnold, people like Serge Nubre, Frank Zane, and some others in those days. And I wanted to look like these people just for myself, because if they can look like that, I wanted to look like that. So difference, there is a lot of difference. Again, very few people make money from bodybuilding. And, you know, if you really have a job of 9 to 5, I hope it's a good job, keep it. It's very difficult to make money in bodybuilding. Duke O'Neill, thank you very much for your support, your help, and your super sticker, and also being the member of my channel. And yeah, ask me a question, because you didn't. You just send me a gift. Thank you very much. But looking forward to get your question. Let me see what else is there. Determined to get in shape. I'm in my 50s, just reading your natural bodybuilding ebook, which I'm enjoying. Thank you for that. Simple question. How do you pick the correct weight for your lifts? Well, I explained that in many videos. You choose the weight that you can do 12 reps with that, let's say, biceps curls. So you choose the weight that you can do in perfect form, perfect time under tension for 12 reps. And you can do another one, which will be 13 or 14, but that will be to failure. You don't need to go to failure. You just need to come close to failure, 1 or 2 reps. This is your first set. So what that weight is going to be, you have to find out. Keep that weight the same, and then do as many sets as you can until you drop under 8 reps. So the range is from 12 to 8. So you can do 12, 10, 9, 9, 8, done. Or you do 10, 8, 6, done. Because if you drop under 8, that's your last set. How will you know what is your last set? You have to try. I suggest 12 to 8. But if you think you can do, you did 12, then you did 9, then you think you can do 8, but you did 6, fine. But that's the end. So next time you may do 12, 10, 9, 8. You just keep going. When you hit that first set, more reps, 13, 14 in the same form, then is the time to increase the weight. Only then. So there is somebody asking about disc herniation because of deadlift. Well, you shouldn't have done deadlift in the first place. And I can't tell you how to solve that problem. You need to speak to your doctor. Sometimes they may, osteopaths, they may help you with bringing the disc back somehow, depending how far the disc can come out. Sometimes you need to go for an operation. But well, this is what happens when you do deadlift. I'm sorry to hear that, but I can't give you direct answer for that. You need an expert regarding herniated discs. How can you protect against atherosclerosis with a high-fat diet? Well, arteriosclerosis has nothing to do with fat. It's a very much more complex consequence that has happened probably years ago, decades ago, and depending on the amount of plaque that has been formed in the arteries, you may not be able to reverse the situation. Maybe you will, but lowering your insulin levels will definitely be the good thing to do. But you need to talk to an expert. Somebody needs to go and look inside your arteries and see on what stage you are if you have that problem. Nothing is straightforward. It's very much connected to your previous lifestyle for decades of your life, eating, not exercising, etc. So you need to talk to an expert. Let me see something else. Okay, there is another member. Members of the channel obviously have priority, guys, so bear that in mind. And Vincent is asking, Dr. Jocic, could you explain in more details as to why dips, even wide grip, are not ideal for chest growth? Well, dips are primarily an exercise for shoulders and triceps, not chest, even if you go wide grip. But if you go really wide grip, you are mimicking a decline press, which is much more effective for your chest development than dips. Why is that? It's not because Dr. Nash has said that, right? Or St. Paul has said that, or whoever else has said that. It's because of the anatomy, which is directly related to biomechanics. So biomechanics is the way that we perform exercises, is the mechanics of the human body. When we look at the muscles, in particular, you're asking about chest, you need to understand that your chest muscle is attached in your sternum. This is the origin of the chest muscle. And the insertion is in your shoulders. Now, what is the direction of biomechanical movement for chest muscle? This is the direction. See, you stretch your chest and then you contract your chest. See, the movement is horizontal, so humerus has to go out in order to stretch your chest. Now, when you do dips, you're not going out, you're going in. And you can see me now, which muscle gets stretched is the shoulder. And what is the biomechanics of the front shoulder? Simply lifting the arm up and down. And where do you do that? Exactly when you do dips. So you're not using your chest because you don't have that movement. You're using the positioning in which your front shoulder take the most of the movement. Chest will be involved in certain percentage, but not significantly. And another muscle which plays a massive role in dips is triceps. So because you're going vertical down, you can see that shoulder is moving more than chest. Chest move when you go to the side. And I think this is clear as the day light. So this is the answer to your question. I don't do dips for chest. I do decline press, but that's a different story. And next question is going to be, what are your thoughts about training calves? Once or twice per week. Is it okay to do 1 day seated and 1 day standing? Well, first of all, you need to understand why we are doing standing calf raises and why we are doing seated. There are two different muscles in the calf region. Gastrocnemius is the biggest one, the one that you want, that makes the calf big. And you train gastrocnemius when you do standing calf raises or donkey calf raises. Now, there is another muscle which is a bit smaller, is on the side, it's called soleus. And that muscle you target when you do seated calf raises. Now, soleus is not that important for most people because this is the muscle that helps you keep the balance. This is why we have soleus. It's very small muscle on the side, but sometimes it can contribute to overall bulk of the triceps of the calves simply because it pushes gastrocnemius out on that side. So for most of my career, I didn't do seated calf raises, and I had massive calves. So you don't have to bother about that. That's the number one thing about seated. So you can't just mix, apples and pears. This just doesn't work with that. So focus on standing calf raises. If you do them once per week, it's fine. If you do it properly. If you're more advanced, you can do twice. Sometimes I do calves twice per week. Whenever you do calves, you should do them first in your training session. So if you do calves with legs, do calves first. If you do calves with back or shoulders, do calves first. Why? Because most people, most of the time, do calves at the end of the session when they are completely exhausted, tired, and then they will do a few sets quickly, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets, whatever, of calves, just like I've done calves. And this is a big problem. So calves are the biggest problem for more. I mean, just look in the gym. 99% of people have very weak calves. This is not a secret. Why? Because they don't train them or they don't know how to do it. Calves are also very important, not just for overall balance and symmetry and aesthetic figure, because without calves, nobody really looks good. I mean, I know a few professional bodybuilders who never did anything simply because they didn't have calves. Everything else was fantastic, but they didn't have calves. So just when you're on the stage or even on the beach, without calves, there's like a big gap there. So if you're more advanced, you can do calves twice per week. If you're not, again, you have to find it yourself. Marcus D, manager, is also a member of the site, and he has asked, is veg keto possible? No, it's not possible, because keto has to have protein. Unless you're thinking, can I eat vegetables with protein and fat? Yes, you can. You're still going to be in keto. But just as the question suggesting, veg keto means just vegetables. That's not good. Richard, thank you for this. Richard is saying that he just wanted to say thank you. I'm 46 years old and I have progressed aesthetically more than I ever since I was 35. My joints and my connective tissues feel better. Fantastic. I like to hear this, because advice that I give is not only to make you bigger and stronger, but also to keep you safe, meaning to protect your connective tissues, your joints, and make you enjoy bodybuilding, make you enter the gym and be happy and be motivated. And this is why I explain in so many different videos why you should be training every muscle once per week, why you should avoid going to failure, why you should train with perfect technique, why you should last as much as I advise, etc., in order to keep you not just good, big, lean, but also safe. Okay, let me find something else. So some people are asking too many questions, the same people. You should not do that, because everybody needs attention. Can higher carbs and fuller glycogen stores. What it means, fuller glycogen stores? Glycogen stores are full. They will always be full. Not because you want them to be full, or somebody said to you, eat 200-300 grams of carbs for your glycogen stores, but because there's evolutionary biology involved. Humans didn't sit in the office and lie on the sofa watching Netflix for most of the day and then driving cars or in the tube or in the bus going home. Humans used to live extremely volatile, unpredictable lives. They used to run for life. They used to sprint in order to run away from predators, from enemies. They used to sprint in order to kill. They used to fight ferocious battles to survive, to raid, to steal. You just imagine how much glycogen all of that had to require, all of these instant, sudden, life-saving activities. The glycogen is absolutely necessary. So you will always have glycogen, regardless of you want to have it or you don't want to have it. Like you will always have to breathe. So if somebody says to you, oh, you know what, if you eat more carbs, you're going to be breathing better. It doesn't make sense. Oh, cardio. You go on a treadmill and you do cardio. And when you do squats or biceps curls, what do you do then? Oh, that's not cardio. Oh, really? So what do you think it is? So you will always have your cardiovascular system involved. The same applies to glycogen. You will always have enough glycogen. Your body will create glycogen. Either you eat carbohydrates or not. So when you say fuller, you don't need 100% full glycogen stores for your workout. When you do chest, you don't even burn 20, 30% of glycogen in your chest. So you don't need 100%, even with 30, 40%, but your stores will always be around 60, 70%. So you will always have more glycogen. I don't eat any carbs, and I do 30 sets on regular basis for chest, for back, for legs. Where that comes from. So again, a big deception, and again, that stigma, that myth of eating carbs in order to have full glycogen stores. Usually people who talk about it, think about, believe in that, and do that, they are all fat. Just look around, or maybe look in the mirror. If you can see a six-pack and you eat 200-300 grams of carbs, fantastic. Keep doing it. There are some people who can do that. They are minority, maybe 5% of the whole world population. But if you don't see a six-pack and you buy these stories, eat more carbs, 200-300 grams to your food, I mean, just don't fool yourself, because that is not going to happen. Again, Nordman Sons is the member of the channel, and he has asked, do you believe in Vince Gironda's 36 eggs a day diet as a natural option to Dianabol, as they claim the same effect in all studies? Well, I do not believe in this. These are, again, stories. As you know, there are things that I like about Vince Gironda. I spoke about his diet, meat and eggs diet, 3 meals a day. Everybody says something which is good, but it doesn't mean that everything they say is good. Now, he experimented. You may give somebody 36 eggs, and he can really benefit, first of all, because he's going to have a lot of amino acids. He's going to have a lot of leucine. 36 eggs, bear in mind, each egg has around 6 grams of protein. So 36 eggs will be what? 180, 219 grams of protein. It's a lot of protein plus fat. And that will be enough for most people to actually explode if they train correctly. But it doesn't mean that eating just boiled eggs or scrambled, whatever, 36. I mean, why 36? Why not 42 or 22 or whatever number? So again, you see this mythology developing. This is why when I give advice, I say to people, guys, I'm giving you guidance. I'm not giving you recipe. I tell you what I do, but it doesn't mean that you should do the same. Use it as a guidance, as an example. I did a video on Serge Nubre, for example, talking to people about him doing 40 sets of bench press in front of me. I never did 40 sets of bench press. And then so many people came back and said, oh, there is no way I can do that. This is impossible. There must be steroids, must be this, aliens, mosquitoes, whatever reasons they find. Again, all nonsense. No, that was Serge Nubre. People, you need to get once clear with that. They are different specimens. I never did 40 sets of bench press. I never did 40 sets for chest anyway. So that doesn't mean that you should. I had to do the video, and there is the video you can go and watch, which is called Should You Train Like Serge Nubre? And the explanation, the whole subject of the video was, no, you should not train like Serge Nubre. You should use his principles, which is high volume training. Many people did it. Many people followed this principle. Phil Heath followed it. Jay Cutler followed it. Dexter Jackson followed it. All these new bodybuilders who are a little bit cleverer now, they wanna be there for a long time. They don't do all this nonsense of heavy duty failure training and stuff. They're not going to risk the tendencies some of famous bodybuilders, sacrifice for what? Because you don't have to do it. It's absolutely clear now. I shouldn't be even talking about it anymore. So basically, back to your question, creating mythology out of anything. 36 eggs. Again, why 36? Why not 27? I know steroids are very powerful. You can't beat steroids, period. No eggs, no meat. No. If you have somebody, if I put my son on steroids, he's going to put 10 kgs in 3 months of lean muscle, regardless. Because steroids are powerful compounds. They are made to make you build muscle. This is why they call anabolic steroids. You also have catabolic steroids, which are usually given to people with allergy. To suppress immune system, because some people have very powerful immune system, which is overreacting and causing all kind of problems, autoimmune diseases and similar. And this is why they're given corticosteroids, which are actually catabolic. But when it comes to anabolic, they have been created in order to help people under certain conditions, like after heavy burns, steroids help recover skin, recover tissue. Anorexia, people who cannot put on weight, on muscle, all different conditions. This is why steroids were invented originally. Not for bodybuilders, but for medical conditions which required help, to help people build muscle, people who could not go to the gym or for whatever different reasons. This is why they have. So no food can beat steroids. But it doesn't mean that you have to take steroids. If you eat healthy, I don't like comparison, but food is very powerful. And I had so many videos on food. And eggs will stimulate higher production of testosterone. But that is not going to be 10 times more testosterone. If you produce 10 milligrams a day, for example, eggs can help you on meat to produce maybe 12, 13 milligrams. But you're not going to produce 100 as if you take testosterone. So I don't like this comparison. People are always looking for hypes, for mega stories, for amazing whatever titles, but it just doesn't work like that. Myogenic Angel, again, thank you again for your generous support. You are also the member of the channel. I really appreciate your respect, first of all, because you have sent me a lot of messages and you're very much into everything. And she asked, do you ever drink alcohol? Is it not good to drink doing low carb? And I'm fine without it, but I don't know what you think about it. Well, here and there, I have a glass of wine when I feel I need it. If I had a stressful day, I may have it in the evening. And as long as you have a glass of, I prefer wine. I don't know, other people may like something else, but wine has been shown also they have some positive effect on the body. But what it does mainly, it relaxes you. And this is the main reason why people have been drinking alcohol for thousands of years, to relax. Now, there is drinking and drinking. So if you drink as an alcoholic, if you drink a bottle of wine or you drink half a bottle of vodka every night, then no, that's not what I recommend. I will never recommend, because obviously alcohol is toxic for the liver, is a toxin. Liver has to break down alcohol, and it will be much happier if it doesn't have to break down anything like that. Also, I was never one of those, what is the name, strict, hysterical people about things. I don't drink coffee. Coffee is bad for you. No, don't drink coffee. I don't drink any alcohol. I don't do this. I don't do that. Fine. Enjoy your life. I drink coffee. I drink alcohol. I don't eat anything sweet. I don't eat any carbs. I enjoy my eggs. I enjoy my steak. I train 5 times per week. I drink 3 liters of water a day with electrolytes. And this is what I do. And it works for me. And it's been working for 45 years now. And you know in what kind of shape I am. You've seen my pictures on Instagram. And recently I just posted a few photos I've done a few days ago in Spain. On the age of 64, I'm ripped. And the whole beach, thousands of people are staring at me. It's really sad that all these young people, none of them had six-pack. It is a massive beach in Malaga. And I went to Los Alamos as well, even bigger beach, huge. And I'm looking at all these young people, they're all fat. And they're staring at me, and they should be looking better than me, but they are not. So this is the consequence of my lifestyle. And yes, I had, when I'm on holidays, usually I don't like beer anyway, but on holidays, I would have a beer here and there during the day. Sometimes I have a glass of wine in the evening, and yeah, that's it. For me, that's not a problem. For some people, maybe a problem to have a glass of wine once a week. I don't know, but you need to make sure that you control alcohol. Alcohol does not control you, and you never become addict. Because if you become an addict, it doesn't matter if that is alcohol or carbohydrates or sugar. Addiction is never good, because when you're addicted, you are not the owner of your life. The substance that you're addicted to becomes the owner of your life, and that's the message. Okay, let me see what else is there. I asked a few more questions. D1 Nu, thank you very much for your support. And you have asked, thank you for your great wisdom. Please, could you give some general advice about how to approach a cut? Important to concentrate on calories. Well, I've done so many videos. I hope you've seen them, and I talk about that all the time. So I would not focus on cut. I would rather focus on lifestyle. And number one problem with a good, healthy lifestyle today is diet. Diet is number one. Training is number two. So you need to decide when you're ready. You need to look for best possible diet plan. When you're ready, that means that you will have enough commitment to follow the program that somebody who knows what is he talking about is giving it to you. So you need to be committed. Is that going to be tomorrow or in 10 days, in a month? If you're not committed, don't do it. When you do that, then you should look for a perfect training plan, training program. You need to find somebody to assess you, to look at you, at your history, fitness level, current training program, current diet, and give you the best possible training plan. When you get that, you will be on the right highway to success. Lifestyle is what matters. Why? Because if you just look for a cut, as many people have done, I want to get cut for this holiday. I have 3 months. Dr. Nash, can I join your personal training program? No, don't do it. Why? Because I'm not interested in quick fix. I need to sort out your lifestyle for life. I have clients who have been with me for 25 years, 18 years, 17, 15 years, 12 years, 10 years, 7 years. Now I have new clients who are joining 90 days transformation challenge. And they say they want to be my clients for the rest of their lives. Why? Because I'm trying to change their lifestyle. So lifestyle is what matters. So when you fix this, by the way, I do personalized training programs and personalized nutritional plans. You can consider that as well. I think I know a little bit about that. And when you do that, you will start changing your body composition slowly. What it means, your body fat percentage will decrease and your lean muscle tissue will increase. So immediately your body will enter much better metabolic state. So your metabolic health will improve immediately, meaning your body will be more prone to burn fat and build muscle. Now, because you have committed yourself to follow that diet and that training, your lifestyle change has changed, and you're doing this for good. So you don't worry about cut. You just look in the mirror every 2 weeks, do the photos, and look at your images and your progress. And eventually you will get cut. I've done my first 90 days challenge recently, and I have the video with a guy, Matthew, who have won that challenge. And you should watch the video, how much somebody has changed in 90 days. But Matthew continued to work with me because Matthew now wants to compete. He never thought about it. But you should watch the video and see how much Matt has changed. I called that video, I didn't believe that is possible. Now I'm doing the second 90 days challenge, in which there is somebody who has changed beyond recognition in 90 days. And I will do the video with that guy because he is going to win, most likely. This current 90 days challenge finishes this month, and you will see how much people change for 90 days. But this guy is completely committed. His lifestyle has changed completely. And this is why he changed. So don't look at the quick fix, focus on lifestyle change. And the new 90 days challenge will start from 1st of September. So if you are interested, there are still a few more places. Whoever is listening, you can watch the video tomorrow in which I explain more about that. It's coming tomorrow at 5. And this is actually what we do in this 90 days challenge. Now I have another few minutes left. So let me see. Dr. Nash, regarding rest time, if I rest 1.5 minutes between sets, my rep counts might be 18, 16, 14, 12. If the rest is 45 seconds, my rep count might be 18, 14, 11, 8. Are the short rest times still better? Well, when I say short, I'm talking about necessary minimum. Nobody can tell you how much is that. I've given you a guidance. I said for upper body, it should be up to 60 seconds. So that also means it could be 50, 52, 67, 71, but it should not be 190. For lower body, I have said up to 90 seconds, but that can be 72. My clients are resting 45 seconds between sets. My advanced clients, I rest 45, never a minute between leg sets. If you are not as experienced, you can rest 90 seconds or a bit longer. So you need to find that. I can't tell you. I mean, it's impossible. So this is something that you have to discover. I'm giving you guidance. I'm telling you which direction to go, but I can't tell you how fast to drive, which car to drive, how to change the gear. I'm just telling you that's the best direction you can go. And for the rest of it, you are the driver in that car. You are in the driving seat. You are the owner of your life. I can't get there because everybody is different. You understand? So everybody has to find that fine line, fine cut. If anyone comes to you and says to you, as I said all the time, oh, my online coach said to me, you can calculate number of calories, basal metabolic rate, blah, blah, DDX, exposure to training, 2,350 calories. Really? What a genius. It's the Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla. Who is this guy? How can you do that? Who possibly can discover how much calories do you need? Do they look at your hormonal balance? Do they know anything about your metabolism, your cortisol levels, your stress levels, your activities, your nutrition? Everything changes caloric demand. Everything. And then some genius will come out and tell you exactly how much calories do you need, and then he will work it out in probably 60, 70% carbs, 20% protein, 10% fat, and off you go. And you know what? Thank you to all these guys. And you know why? Because you send these people, your clients, to me. And all my clients have come from similar so-called experts because they spend months or years, and they said one day, I spent with these guys so long, I never changed. So guys, thank you. Keep doing your maths. A couple of more questions. Again, Northman Sons is the member. He's asked another one. And he said, well, he asked a few questions here. Let me find them. you said you were working nights and long run. Yeah, I did the same. The period when I did the same, but it's not best thing to do. Night is time for sleeping. It's something called circadian rhythm, which we can't change. Yes, you can sleep during the day, but it's not the same. So I also struggle, but well, life happens sometimes, and we have to cope with it. Another question, Dr. Nash, what are your thoughts on drinking milk or Greek yogurt, kefir, etc., for your recommendation diet? Well, there is a big difference between drinking milk, yogurt, or kefir. First of all, milk is difficult to digest because of that milk sugar, which is called lactose. And in yogurt and kefir is already semi-digested. Kefir is the best choice of all because it has much more probiotics, live cultures than yogurt. Greek yogurt or whatever yogurt, doesn't matter, it's all the same. But kefir is very different. So I sometimes have a glass of kefir in the morning with my eggs, but I don't drink milk. So kefir is okay, but don't just overdo it because it's still a lot of calories because it can be anywhere from 3 to 5% fat, plus lactose, which is semi-digested, but is still carbs. So I'll be careful when it comes to that. And yeah, another question: Do you have a cheat day? Do you eat candy at the movies? No, I don't have a cheat day. I don't believe in that. I don't need a cheat day. I mean, I love my food. I just I don't know who invented it. Probably some spoiled people just to come out to justify their weaknesses. No, no. So not really. So guys, um, oh, 1 second. Somebody has sent me super sticker, but I didn't see it. Let me find out. So far, no reply. Okay. So there is one here. Yeah, also, thank you very much for your support. Traps best done with shoulders or back? Well, I do them with shoulders because upper traps are more involved with shoulders. Upper traps is just the section which you don't use much when you do back, if you do back properly. And I would do it definitely with shoulders. This I do myself. Another question. Thank you for your super sticker. Edgar Celices. How does working overnight affect your health, testosterone, cortisol, etc., while being a natural bodybuilder and working out during the day, sleeping daytime and being awake at night? Well, as I said, I went through that rough period myself. It's not easy. It's possible, but you need to organize your life as much as possible. You need to try to sleep, if you can, 6 to 8 hours during the day. Is not the healthiest thing that you can do because you need to sleep during the night. It's not something that I have invented. It's simply circadian clock, circadian rhythm. This is how our hormones work. And hopefully you find a better job one day and you will see the difference. There is a difference. So just make sure you eat healthy and make sure that you sleep during the day as much as you can because your body will be deprived from sleep, definitely. Thank you, Donald J. DeMarco, for your help. Is there such a thing as eating too much red meat? No, there is no such a thing. You can eat red meat every day as much as you want, but I still suggest to eat mixed selection of protein sources and fat sources like eggs, liver, very important, red meat, fish, and also chicken, because also cottage cheese or low-fat cheese for some people who can tolerate cheese. I'm just looking for somebody who... So, guys, if I missed someone, please send me the text on message on the community post, and I will respond to you. I'm really sorry if I missed someone, because there is a lot of questions, and there was a lot of people who have supported the channel tonight. I'm very grateful to all of you. I see it as a respect, not necessarily as financial help, which is more important, because it just shows the gratitude which people appreciate. I do. And once again, thank you very much for everybody who has joined the membership on the channel. Some people have retracted their messages, although they have sent their contribution, their super stickers like B30 YouTube. But if you change your mind, and you can always ask me a question on the community post. It's open for everybody. And yes, I think you have enjoyed tonight's live session. And if you did, please send me your comments on the video, which will be live on my channel probably in an hour. And if you also have any other questions that I didn't answer, you can always ask in comments on this video, which will appear live in an hour or two once it gets processed. So, guys, again, thank you very much for you being tonight in these great numbers. And also thank you again to everybody who has supported the channel via being members of the channel, and also through your super stickers and super chats. And I hope to see you soon, maybe in a week or two latest, and we will continue with live Q&A. And I hope that will help you again to understand things that I possibly don't mention in my videos. So until the next live chat, I wish you all the best.